Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are talking about the motion of the sun and the earth. So, we should have known that all celestial bodies as stars, planets and moons float in space. And how do they float? They float in continuous motion, such as the motion of the sun, the motion of the earth, and the motion of our moon. It rotates around our earth. So in this lesson we are going to study the motion of the earth. So, the motion of the earth. There are two main types of motion of the earth. So what are these two types of motion of the earth? The first one is the rotation of the earth around itself, or simply around its axis. And the revolution of the earth itself around the sun. So, let's talk in more details about the rotation of the earth around itself. So the earth consists of two hemispheres, which are northern hemisphere, where Egypt lies, in our case our country Egypt, and southern hemisphere, where Argentina is located, for example. So the earth rotates around itself, or simply around its inclined axis, once every 24 hours. And these 24 hours makes our Earth day, or which is one day. Okay, so and the side of the earth that faces the sun during this rotation becomes bright. So this is why there is a day. When we wake up in the morning we find the sun. So this is when the earth faces the sun, while its other side becomes dark or night. Well, the other part of the earth where there is no sun, it's what? It's dark. So the rotation of the earth around its axis causes the sequence of day and night, causes both day and night. So in order to prove that, let's do an activity, or you can do it in your own house or at school. So the activity 1, to show the sequence of day and night. What are the tools needed? We need a plastic bowl, a torch, a needle, and a pin. Okay, like the clip pins where you put your notice and that stuff in the school. So the steps. What shall we do first? First, pass the needle in an inclined position through the bowl. Okay, don't make the bowl straight, make it inclined a little bit. Then fix the pin at a part of the bowl, as in figure A. In this case, the ball represents the earth, while the needle represents the axis of the earth. So, and the next step, what shall we do? Darken the room. So switch off the lights and make it dark. Then switch the torch switch it on and direct it towards the pin, as in figure B, like the one that you see here on the left. In this case, the torch represents the sun. So what happens, or what can we see when we do that? We will notice the following observation. The part of the ball that faces light is bright, but the other part that doesn't face light, what happened? It's dark. We can barely see it. So the third step, or the third observation, what else can happen? Let's rotate the ball around itself while keeping the torch switched on, as in figure C. So this is the third step. So after we discover that when it's just still, part of it is bright and the other is dark, now we will start rotating. We will find that in the observation, the bright part of the northern hemisphere is smaller than the dark part. Night is longer than day in that case. Okay, we'll see a little bit there. Okay, and what else? The bright part of the southern hemisphere is larger than the dark part, where the day is longer than night. So what shall we conclude from that? Conclusion that the sequence of day and night occurs due to the rotation of the earth around its axis, which is very important to know, and that the hours of day are not equal to the hours of night. And why is that? Because the axis of the earth is inclined. It's not straight, it's inclined, a little bit of inclination. So for a little bit further of information, which is read and learn, you'll find that the earth's axis is an unreal straight line. There is nothing in reality called straight line. We imagine that passes through the center of the earth. Looking directly at the sun is harmful to your eyes. It can destroy your eyes and cause you blindness. So a little bit of quiz here. Questions, put right or wrong. The first one, the sequence of day and night occurs due to the revolution of the sun around the earth. Of course not, it's the other way around. The sun is still, or in reality it's not, but which rotates around which? The earth rotates around the sun. Number 2, the hours of day are not equal to the hours of night because the axis of the earth is vertical. This is also wrong. They are not equal because the axis of the earth is inclined. It's not vertical, it is inclined. Now let's talk about the revolution of the earth around the sun. Okay, how does this happen? If you can see, there is a spring, summer, winter, autumn in the figure, and you got two information on the left. The earth revolves around the sun once every 365 day and quarter of a day. So 364 and a quarter represents 1 year, and this 1 year rotation is the revolution or the complete revolution of, or complete one cycle of earth around the sun. So the revolution of the earth around the sun causes the sequence of what? Of the 4 seasons: summer, autumn, winter, spring. This is what we have spring. If the earth does not rotate around the sun, it will always be summer, it will always be autumn, winter, or whatever. But since it rotates around the sun, so the weather changes, and the weather changes because of the seasons, it changes. So the location of the earth from the sun each time is different. It's not the same throughout the year. Now for activity 2, of course, to prove what we said, to show that the revolution of the earth around the sun causes the sequence of the 4 seasons. Now the steps. Put a model of the earth on a table. We get a model where its northern half is inclined towards an electric lamp, like you see in the figure. Okay, so the northern hemisphere, northern half is a little bit inclined towards the sun. So what will we observe from doing that at the beginning? We find that a large part of the northern half becomes light, while a small part of the southern half becomes light. There are more light in the north than on the south. So this means that summer in northern half and winter in southern half. Okay, so if we do the other way around, move the model around the lamp, okay, where the southern part is inclined towards the electric lamp, the other way around, what will happen? A large part of the southern half becomes light, while a small part of the northern half becomes light. So this means that summer in southern half and winter in northern half. So what shall we conclude from that, or the conclusion? The earth revolves around the sun once every 365 and a quarter days, which is 365 and 1/4 days, causing the sequence of the 4 seasons. And for the notes, in summer the hours of the day are longer than the hours of the night, and everyone is obvious here. When it comes summer, the sun stays at 8 p.m. while in winter we find it at 4:35 it starts to disappear. So in winter the hours of the day are shorter than the hours of the night. So a little bit of quiz as well. Question: complete the following sentences. 1. The rotation of the earth around its axis causes the sequence of what? Of day and night, while the revolution of the earth around the sun causes the sequence of what? Of the 4 seasons. And number 2 in the questions, The hours of the day in summer are, of course, longer than it in winter. And 4, a little bit of summary for all what we said, discussed today. The first point, all celestial bodies, such as stars, planets, and moons, are in a continuous motion in the space. They do not stop. We are always moving. The second point, the Earth consists of 2 hemispheres, which are, number 1, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. For the third part, there are 2 types of motion of the Earth, which are 1, the rotation of the Earth around its axis itself, and the revolution of the Earth around the Sun. And the other point, the Earth completes 1 round around its axis in 24 hours, which is 1 day, and this type of rotation causes the sequence of day and night. To the next point, the Earth completes 1 round around the Sun in 365 quarter days, 1 year, and this type of revolution causes the sequence of the 4 seasons. And for the last point, the Earth's axis is inclined, and this causes the difference in the length of the day and the night. And thank you very much for listening.